Hey, it's Chris. Welcome to another episode of Answering Your Apple Questions. Question number 1, what is up with the two iPads? Well, this one is for monitoring what's going on in that camera. This one actually has the questions on it, so I'm using them both. Would you rather listen to Coming In Hot by Andy and Lecrae on AirPods or Beats? Here's a person that really knows me. I can't believe this question. I love this question. I'm thrilled with this question. That's why this question is going first. This is a tough question because it totally depends where I'm at. AirPods are more convenient like when I'm traveling. The Beats though, I would want to use when I just want to like enjoy the music and have fun. Like that's a fun song and it's got a lot of bass. Will you still get the i9 2018 MacBook Pro even when it throttles? Okay, look, this is a really simple question for me and some people are not gonna like this answer. This is my computer, like the MacBook Pro, that's my lineup. This is my ecosystem. This is where I live right now. Tell me another manufacturer that can replace my AirPods, my iPad, my iPhone, and give me a computer with performance like the MacBook Pro. If you can do all of those things and give me like Mac OS, you can't. Yeah, that's my computer, that's my line, that's what I would buy. Question number 3, will you be upgrading your iPhone this year? If so, what model will you get? 5.8, 6.1, or 6.5? I will be updating my iPhone, as you can imagine. I'm on T-Mobile, I've got the Jump plan. I've got 2 iPhones at any given time. Right now I've got the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus. The reason that I have 2 is one is my personal phone, like the one that I carry with me all the time, and the other one is like my media phone. I use it just for filming. It's right over there. It's got a Moment lens hooked up to it, and it's for like social media, maybe like shooting videos. So yeah, I kind of keep them separate. I'm gonna upgrade both. I'll probably go for the 2 OLEDs just like for my personal use. Of course, I want to try out the new LCD too and see how that is, assuming like those are the actual models. Question number 4, what is your all-time favorite iPhone case? I will link it up down in the description. Question number 5, if I were to travel back in time 150 years, what Apple device would I bring to prove that I was from the future? I'm gonna bring the MacBook Pro instead of anything else because it's portable enough to like take around and show everybody. I use it to play Coming In Hot by Andy and Lecrae, and then if things turn weird, it's big enough to act as a shield if people are coming after me because I'm the weird guy from the future. Question number 6, do I think the standard MacBook is a good entry to basic video editing? Let me tell you something, use the best computer that you have access to, and if it's the standard MacBook, then that's great. When I started this channel, it was originally a blog, and when I switched into video editing, I had a computer that I bought to like type articles on, and it was a MacBook Air of all things, and I used that to edit video in 4K. But it worked. It was a little bit slower than I wanted to, but I made it work. So definitely, I would say absolutely, use whatever you've got. Question number 7, what was my first Apple device? I thought about this and I thought it was the 2009 or 2010 iMac. That was like my first Apple computer that I personally owned, I think. But actually, thinking further back, my first Apple product was the first gen iPod mini back around like 2004. Question number 8, what got me into Apple? It's really simple. It was college/design. I was taking design and everything was Mac, and that's how it was for a while. Like if you were doing design or anything creative, it was like Mac only. And so it was, the computer lab was Mac, the place that I had a job, that was all Mac. And so that's kind of like what I learned on. Then I just grew to like appreciate it. The design aesthetic, I really got into like Johnny Ive, you know, Steve Jobs. I bought into the whole Apple lifestyle and thinking different. Yeah, that's where it all started. Question number 9, is a matte black MacBook Pro something I'd be interested in? Are you sure you're asking this on the right channel? Because it sounds like this is a question for MKBHD, but I will answer it anyways. Yeah, I think matte black, like front and back of any of Apple's gadgets would be awesome, but I would throw in, I would like even better, all white, like matte black or all glossy white. Yeah, I think those would both be awesome. Question number 10, what would the next iPhone be called? I think there's actually 3 decent options. Number 1, iPhone 9. Number 2, iPhone Edition. Number 3, iPhone Pro. I would love to see an iPhone Pro, so maybe that's a possibility. Question number 11, what new product are you most hoping Apple will release this September, and what new feature do you want to see the most on that product? I am actually really looking forward to something unexpected. We're already expecting new iPhones, new iPads, some new Macs. All of that stuff is really exciting, but kind of expected. Like a redesigned smart keyboard for the iPads, that would be awesome. Maybe like a new Apple Pencil. I just want something that's really unexpected, even if it's smaller, like just a surprise. Question number 12, was I at all disappointed that there was no hardware releases at WWDC 2018? I was just happy to be there. It was so fun to be there, to meet other people, to see everything unfolding on the stage. I mean, WWDC is traditionally all about software, and if there happens to be some hardware, that's just like a bonus. Question number 13, do you prefer a glass or aluminum back on iPhones? I would say glass for looks and wireless charging. It's not that I don't like the aluminum, but I guess I would pick glass for those reasons. Question number 14, your house is on fire, you can only take one Apple device with you, what would it be? I think definitely the iPhone, because it can kind of do everything. Like for what I do, I can still record, I can still edit, still take pictures, still game, still get all my apps. Question number 15, what is your favorite iOS game? All right, so I started playing this kind of obscure game that I just happened to find in the App Store the other day called Battlestar Arena, I think. I'll link it up down below. I don't think it's super well known. It's kind of like a Clash of Clans thing with like spaceships instead of ogres and whatever else. But get this, in like a week, somehow I'm like number 5 overall of all the players because there's only like 6,000 people. Question number 16, I get asked this a lot. In my opinion, what's the worst Apple product? Let me phrase it this way. I really don't have an Apple product that I dislike, that I just don't like. I like basically every Apple product, but the product that gives me the least amount of satisfaction is the Apple TV remote. So not the Apple TV in general, but just that remote. I started out thinking it was cool when it first came out, but I've since come to do battle with it almost every day. That's something that would be cool if it got redesigned in the September event. Next question, am I gonna be reviewing the 2018 MacBook Pros? Yeah, I think so. Hope so. Which Mac do I do most of my video production on? That's a good question. I'm using a 2016 15-inch MacBook Pro with the touch bar. It has a 1TB hard drive and 16 gigs of RAM. That's what I'm using this very day right now. Next question is Apple Pencil or Apple Watch? I'm assuming I can just pick one, then it's probably gonna be, as much as I use the Apple Pencil, I use it a lot, but I don't use it every day, and it's more like a nice to have than a must have, whereas I use my Apple Watch constantly, all day, every day, and I feel weird if I don't have it on my wrist. I've gotten that attached to it, so probably Apple Watch. What are my thoughts on this? The iPhone 10 is a big flop if we compare it to the iPhone 8. There was a recent earnings call and Tim Cook told us that the iPhone 10 was the best-selling iPhone that they have right now in the current lineup since it came out last year. Have I ever had any major problems with my Apple products? I'm thinking back, I don't really think that I have, to be honest. The one thing that kind of sticks out of my head is when the shift key on my MacBook Pro, the 2016 that I just mentioned, was getting stuck just a little bit, and then it fixed itself. So after that, really, I don't think so. Someone says, I may be the only one, but I really love the iPhone SE. I think it's the best size Apple ever made. It's robust and minimal. What do I think about it? Yeah, I like the iPhone SE. I don't like it better than the iPhone 10, personally. We got one for my wife, that's what she uses, and she likes it. I really like the looks of the iPhone SE 2 renders, and I don't know, it sounds like that might be canceled. If that were to become a reality, that would be such a cool looking phone. If it had the form of the iPhone SE, but the screen of the iPhone 10, like that shape. Next question is, how many iPhones have I had? I think my first iPhone was the iPhone 4 or 4S, so however many iPhones have come out since then. What would Steve Jobs say about new Apple products? And there were several questions that were sort of like this. This is tough because obviously nobody knows, and I wouldn't know personally. Nobody's ever gonna replace Steve. There's not gonna be another Steve. That said, I think I remember reading the Steve Jobs biography, which is sitting right over there. He's staring at me. I feel like I read somewhere that Steve worked hard to instill his values and the essence of Apple at the time into the institution of Apple to carry that on. At the same time, it seems like he wanted Tim Cook to be Tim Cook and not try to be Steve Jobs. And I think that was smart because that would have been a really tough burden. And I think a lot of people like to speculate that maybe Steve would have been unhappy. Look, you have people like me who are still really excited and into Apple. And I think that is a huge testament. People are buying Apple products in droves. So kind of an ambiguous answer, but no, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. But that doesn't mean this is the same company it would be if Steve was around. It's hard for Apple fans to let go of Steve, even now, so many years later. Someone says, I wanna make my home a smart home. Can I do that with Apple products? Yeah, you could set up your Apple TV as the nerve center of your smart home, for sure. Do I know where there's not a battery saving mode on the iPad? Let me just double check that there's not. Turn on low power mode.
Sorry, but I can't change low power mode on your iPad.
Okay, there's no low power mode. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know, and now I want one. Last question, if I had to get rid of one Apple product, what would it be? That is a tough one, but You know, I think I have the perfect candidate. You know that little sticker that comes with all your Apple stuff? That's technically an Apple product, so I'm gonna go with the sticker. All right, that's it for this episode. That was a great batch of questions. Thank you for submitting. You submitted on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube in the community tab. So follow me in all those places if you wanna participate in the next episode. And by the way, leave me your comments in the bottom of this episode for the next episode too. So I'll check those out as well. Thanks for watching. Lots of great content coming. Lots of new exciting content in a new format. You might notice some changes around here, so stay tuned. I'll catch you in the next video. Later. Oh, I can't reach that far. Later. Later. It's so far away. Later. Maybe I'll just like... Okay, seriously. Later. Ah!